Greetings and welcome to a brand new video. Now today we're going to be going a little bit old school. No hardcore road to glory, no pack opening, no this, no that, no connection talk, no, I don't even know what else we do this year, but old school video, kind of like last year, kind of like the videos that I first started doing. We're looking at gameplay. And, a few days ago I started collecting clips for these types of videos. I hadn't started yet because I was busy with other stuff, and no other way to start this than with passing. All right, we're gonna be going old school. I got plenty of clips prepared, but essentially what I want to talk about today is passing. I've seen lots of people saying the AI intercepts way too many passes, that interceptions need to be nerfed. I mean, they're not wrong when they say that the AI intercepts passes that shouldn't be intercepted. That's not necessarily wrong. What is wrong, though, is saying things like the interceptions in this game need to be nerfed. That's completely false. I'm going to show you why. It doesn't make sense to have a blanket statement like that and generalize it over the whole game. It's always situational, and these clips, I'm going to show you why. And I mean, it took me only a couple days to collect these. If I started from the first year, we'd have a documentary already. So essentially the theme of this video is passing is still messed up. It's still pretty bad. It's a lot better than last year, but it's just a mess. It's RNG as hell, especially, coming from myself, who is playing at a high level. And then interceptions cannot be nerfed, because if they did, we're even more of a mess. It's just a mess. This game is RNG as hell. I'm going to show you why, so let's get straight into some clips. Now, if we go in the post-game replays right here, let's see this goal that we concede. You look at first glance, seems all right. The first pass seemed all right. The second pass as well seemed all right. But let's take a closer look right here, right? So let's analyze this first pass. Now, this first pass is kind of interesting, right? Because you might say, Stallion, what are you doing here? You know, you're pushing out with Varane, which you did really well in closing the angles. Why did you move to the left? Honestly, I don't remember moving to the left. I'm pretty sure I just went straight in, and I don't even know if this was part of an auto lunge or something, but let's just assume I did this myself. Here's where my problem with this is, and this is not even the main part of this clip, so you might disagree with this, but even if you do, just pay attention to what happens here, right? So as you can see, I shouldn't have moved to the left, even though I really don't think I did, but whatever. There's no way to find that out at this point because I don't have the recording of the live gameplay. Here's my problem of why I don't think it matters, because you might say, Stallion, you need to be going straight this way, right? Here's my problem with this. Because I know how passing assistance works in this game, it is how it is. If I go this way, who's to tell me that the game won't autocorrect this ball this way, right? So instinct tells me cover this pass and then cover the assistance that might happen. So I do. I cover the assistance that might happen, and lo and behold, the pass goes where I initially was, right? Maybe it's a little bit conspiracy theory for me. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's too much in my head, but there's nothing really to say here about this at this point, right? Boom. Nutmeg Nation, passing assistance, whatever you want to call it. I don't understand, this is why I just, I know this is a game of RNG in the sense that nothing is absolute. There's always going to be a percentage of things that will happen no matter what you do. This speaks for itself, guys, right? Lucas pass off balance, Ramos right in front of him, Semedo right here. He goes for the cutback, and this goes through. I mean, this is why you can't say interceptions in general need to be intercepted. I mean, it need to be nerfed, right? If this is happening, you can't nerf it all in general because it's all situations. It's just a mess. Like, what goes through shouldn't go through, and what does go through maybe should go through. Like, it's all wrong. It's all backwards. It's all sideways. This game is really understand, but, let's move on to the next clip. Now, in this clip, this is kind of a really interesting one because this is kind of a mess. So, this whole game is really boring, and it revolves around possession hoarding up and down the field until you find your little annoying, stupid pass into the strikers. I apologize if I sound condescending, but, this game is really, really aggravating, man. It's just boring to play. I don't mean it personally. I love, the guys I met at EA and all those guys who are responsible for making the game. It's just a difference of opinion at this point. I just don't think it's like everything. The way this game plays out is just not fun. I say it with all the best intentions of the world. I don't mean to offend anyone, but without further ado, look at this clip, right? This game is possession hoarding. You go up and down and up and down and up and down and up, and you get the point. Defense drops back, even though I'm spamming offside trap half the game until you get the stupid pass into the striker, and then once in a full blue moon, I read it. Look at me. This is me. Right? he's going for this pass, right? So obviously the ball should go this way. So I'm running this way with everything in my body to intercept this. But it doesn't happen because the pass gets assisted to the left. And then I read the pass to the left. We'll take a better look here. I read it and I still don't get it. And so hopefully I have a slow motion capture of this, because this is like actually like insane. I mean, here we go. This is the slow motion, right? You can tell that at this point, he should be passing to this guy because I've committed myself to blocking this pass, right? I don't care. You can pass to here. At that point, I would have switched to my fullback over here, cut the inside, and done as best as possible. I'm fine with giving Messi the right shot for a split second. I'll cover it with a good player switch. But in this situation, I have to do everything in my power to cover Neymar, who could scoop turn in left and with his 5-star weak foot and finesse me or whatever. Let's see what happens, right? Oh, yes. Like, you see what I mean? Like, instead of this pass going this way, I'm going this way, so the pass gets lifted up, but it gets better. It gets better. It gets better. It gets better. It gets so much better. Okay? Because I read it. I read it. I'm like, I'm doing everything. I'm fighting. You cannot understand how hard my thumb was pressing the left stick upwards to grab this ball. And look, it looks like I'm gonna get it. It looks like I'm gonna get it. It looks like I'm gonna survive the passing assistance. I'm gonna survive it. I'm gonna survive it, right? Nope. Nope. I'm not. And I'm just stuck in no man's land and he's through. Like, do you understand why this game is so boring, dude? Because it's set up in a way where there's no channels of entry. There's no way to break someone down because offensive AI runs are crap, and I'll, video on that soon enough. And then, it's all about getting these stupid passes into the strikers, turning and shooting, because there's no creativity in this game, like there hasn't been since FIFA 17. And then you read the pass, but it still goes up. Like, what is happening here? How do I read this? This is why you truly feel like an idiot marking this area with a CDM. And then boom, goes up, down, you get the point, right? And he still goes like, I don't know, man. I might be repeating myself here, but how on God's green earth am I supposed to intercept this pass, if I intercept it and then it turns into this pass, but to him? Like, what am I seeing? What on God's green earth am I? This game is way too messed up in terms of passing assistance. And the crazy part is, it's so much better than last year. That's the scary part. That's what we've been playing in FIFA 18 and 19 in terms of passing assistance. And this is way better. Honestly, man, I don't know. This is why you can't go on and saying interceptions in general need to be nerfed. Maybe manual interceptions need to be buffed, AI need to be nerfed. I don't know. In general, I see way too many questionable passes working, but I do agree with some passes that shouldn't be intercepted getting intercepted, but we cannot be throwing around feedback saying that interceptions need to be nerfed. Not when this kind of things is happening. Absolutely not. And to add onto the pile of, now this is obviously a clip I was streaming here. That's my beautiful face with a hoodie in protest. I wear the hoodie when I'm in protest and I'm just having a hard time with the game. Looks good at first glance, and then what do you know? This was my Delaney. I was manually intercepting. This still happens. Like, I don't know how you can code it to not happen. I understand that it's probably a really hard fix, but at the end of the day, you just gotta point out the situation that it still happens too often. Whether it's bad gameplay that makes it makes it happen pretty often, I don't know. But like, what more do you want? You know what I mean? Like, what's the point? What's the point? And this is what I mean when I say there's no point of nerfing interceptions as a whole. How are you going to tell me interceptions are OP in this game when this happens? The problem with this game is the inconsistent results, everything's like backwards. Maybe the AI interceptions are good when they shouldn't be, and then the manual ones are bad when they should be good. It's just a mess. Another nutmeg for the books. Let me see if I have some more clips. And yes, I do have more clips. I remember this one really clearly. It was yesterday, I believe, or the day before. Anyways, here we go. I mean, it speaks for itself, right? Like, manual jockeying. At this point, it's not even like the first Varane example that I showed you that I accidentally moved out the way. At this point, I'm marking this to absolute perfection. Jockeying it. I mean, what more do you want from me at this point? You could argue at least it happens less than 19. I just don't know, man. It's still too often. It's still too frequent, especially in a game where if you're like me and you're playing a Division 1 or you're playing qualifiers this weekend, this happens once, it's game over. It's not a matter of at least it only happens once. As soon as it happens once, that's it. The game's ruined. Because you know how this game works, right? And how the past 2 games, it's just a nightmare to break someone down with a drop back. There's no offensive AI. There's no, the connection's poor. You can't turn. You can't create original chances. It's all like mixing the same chances over and over. And so, yeah, I mean, this is it, guys. This is really all I wanted to say on the matter. So in conclusion, when we're talking about passing assistance, you know, maybe you want to look at my previous videos from last year. It is what it is, man. A lot of the same issues have stayed. People have starting to saying that the AI interceptions are way too overpowered. I don't know if I agree, man. I see way too much of the stuff that I just showed you guys to agree. That's why I don't want to see interceptions get nerfed. That scares me a lot because we're already in a mess of a game. Nerf those, and I don't even know where this game is going, man. I really don't. So those are my 2 cents. I don't think interceptions as a whole should be nerfed. I think that statement is misguided. It's inaccurate. And you have to look at the big picture. And the big picture says that at the end of the day, the game still decides when to incorporate passing assistance, when to incorporate AI blocks, and the whole balance of it is off. I don't know how to fix it. I'm not a developer myself. I just know that the balance of it is off. The game feels off. And this is only a tiny part of it. Obviously, more videos on different subjects will come in the future. Let me know you guys' thoughts. Let me know if you guys like this format. I know it was a bit more disorganized, but you know, this year I'm doing many other things on top of these kinds of videos. So time is limited, but maybe it's better. You know, I feel like we still have good clips, but maybe the presentation isn't the best. Anyways, let me know your thoughts. And of course, until next time, peace out.